In this video, I create characters using the AI tool Artbreeder. I'm not very good at making characters, so I decided, you know what, I can use some help with that. So I started up Artbreeder and started playing around with the settings until I had sort of two bases, which I was like, yeah, I can do something with it. And I threw them in Photoshop and started working on them. First, I cleaned up the characters a little bit. I deleted the background a little bit, so they came loose from the background. And as you can see, the AI does a decent job to bring up some detail in the character, but it needs a lot of cleanup. And this is not a way to create very unique character designs if you're working for a big studio, although maybe it may be a nice help to sort of get the first early thumbnail sketching phase out of the way. You can just create a bunch of variations of sort of the same character. If you know how to play around with the settings a little bit in Artbreeder, you can come up with some interesting results. So yeah, I used my time mainly to clean up the characters and to make them look nicer, to clean up the details. And that is something that I learned from this. Usually you have to think both about the design of the character, the design of the suit, the design of all the stuff, and then figuring out how it exactly works together and the little details and stuff like that. And now the design is half there, the details are half there, so you kind of have a bunch of information you can work from to create your character, your final design. And I find it a nice halfway step sort of in the process. You don't have to start from scratch. You can build up some mileage with this, and we'll probably do this a little bit more, but I also want to have the skills to do this from scratch. But I mean, we use every tool that's available to us to come up with interesting designs, so why not use this tool to mix and match some stuff and work from there. I mean, you can do crazy stuff with this AI. About this AI, let's talk a little bit more about it. It is called the Artbreeder AI. You can access it by going to artbreeder.com. You can do different things with it. You can make portraits, faces. They're actually quite photorealistic. So if you're really looking into making a face for your character, for instance, you can do that. It can make landscapes. It can make buildings. Although the building version, I'm not very fond of it. It doesn't come up with great results. And you can choose for paintings, and I used that in the past as a painting for a personal project, as a sort of background layer, as a sort of plate to work from. Just a little bit like this, just as a rough base to start going, to have something on the canvas to start working from, so you don't have to think about the color and stuff like that, because that's already filled in. Just can worry about the details and stuff like that. So if you want to try it out, go to artbreeder.com and yeah, have a look around, play with the different settings. This is not a dedicated video about the Artbreeder, of course. This is more about the character design. Well, Artbreeder came up with a sort of 90% of the design. I just am refining the design. But for me, it's a good practice, because this is the phase I usually sort of skip, because the base is not entirely the way I want it. Or I just want to move on to the next project. I've spent some time to figuring out a composition or a design, and then my brain immediately wants to go to the next project. So I have a little bit of a difficult time to actually work on the detailing and spend some time detailing all the stuff out. So yeah, for this, the overall design just stays the same. The color palette stays the same, but I'm just detailing it out a little bit, cleaning it up. That's all we have to do with this, and in the end we try to present them nicely. You can go as crazy as you want. You can overhaul these images as much as you want. I will probably try to do some more in the future next year. This is the last video of the year, by the way. I'm gonna take some time off. So next week there won't be a video. The week after that there probably will be a video. But I'm also gonna try to come up with a schedule. Well, the schedule is going to stay the same, but I want to work on subject matters that I want to make videos about. I want to plan my content a little bit better. It's going quite well, actually. I'm very pleased with that. It's going better than I thought. So I'm actually quite happy with that. But yeah, I need to come up with video ideas and see how we are going to do that. I also need to figure out if I want to keep live streaming or not. I kind of like it. It's very exhausting, but it is a lot of fun. But it takes a lot of energy. But we'll see. We'll probably figure out something. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, this AI, and yeah, let me know if you use it, and I wish there was a way to share images on YouTube, because then you could share the result of your images in the comment section, for instance. But I don't think that's possible. YouTube should make that a possibility. Well, open up a whole list of problems there if you're gonna do that, probably. But on the other hand, it would be kind of nice if you could sort of get a community challenge going on. Maybe I should get a Discord, and then we can do something like that. If you have a nice subject matter like this, we can say, you know what, try this on your own as well, and post the results in Discord. That may be something that I can look into for next year. Those are all things that I want to consider. So yeah, it's the painting itself. It's not very interesting. It's all about detailing, and a little bit more detailing. Not really have to design everything. I just have to figure out what is this. Is this a shoulder pad? What material is it? Is there a clip? How is it attached? Things like that, and adding some scratches and stuff like that. So yeah, it's the end of the year. It was a good year, I think. I sort of rekindled my passion for painting and for YouTube as well, because I really like making these videos. It's not just about the painting. I also really like to make the videos about it. And yeah, I'm gonna continue doing that next year. So hopefully we can grow as a community and as a channel. So if you really like what we're doing here, consider subscribing, and let's go on the journey together, the journey to become a better artists. And who knows, maybe at some point I'm actually a good artist. That's the goal eventually. And this is all sort of steps to achieving that goal, just to practice a little bit more, and practice different things, because I did landscapes almost exclusively in the past, and I've really broadened my skill set in that sense, that I'm starting to work on characters. I painted faces. I have developed some skills in that. There's definitely a lot more to learn, but I'm really excited. There's a lot of stuff that I learned last year that I never thought that would have been possible to do that. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's good to see that growing. The channel is growing steadily, slowly but steadily, and that's actually fine. I don't really care to go viral or something like that. Then all of a sudden you have thousands of subscribers after a single video, because that makes me really scared, I think. But the rate that the channel is growing is actually really good for me. It's growing at a steady pace, and I'm fine with that, because there's some comments about the videos, and some videos work better than others, but that's okay. It's all a learning process, and I think I'm starting to get better at presenting myself, at the editing as well. Although there's not a lot of editing going on, because that's something I struggle with. This is more of a YouTuber talk now instead of a art talk, but to sort of present the process of the art on YouTube, because these days YouTube is all about entertainment and a new shot, new scene every 2-3 seconds, and that's not really possible with art progress videos. And at first I was like, I probably need to figure out how to do that, and now I'm like, well, maybe I want to go the opposite direction and just go for the easy, more steady way of approaching it. Just focus on some nice progress and a place where people can relax and can watch beautiful things come together. So yeah, that's all for now, I think. Anyway, a happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating, and a happy new year, and I hope to see you next year. And who knows what we'll achieve next year. I can't wait. I'm really excited for it. As said before, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next year. Bye!